What if the reason nothing stays in your life is because you're chasing it? You try harder, give more, hold tighter, yet people drift, peace fades, and success feels just out of reach. It's exhausting and strangely familiar. You tell yourself, if I just try a little more, things will finally stay. But they don't. In Buddhist philosophy, this isn't bad luck, it's a hidden pattern. The tighter you hold, the faster it slips away. Look at your own life. Are you attracting, or are you constantly pursuing? Because what if the problem is not that you're not doing enough, but that you are doing too much with the wrong energy? Before we begin, subscribe to Buddha's Eternal Wisdom, your doorway to calm, clarity, and timeless Buddhist insight. Today, you'll uncover why letting go isn't losing. It's the moment everything finally begins choosing you. Stop feeding the inner void. What if you're not chasing people, but running from yourself? Sit with that for a moment. Notice how quickly the mind reaches for distraction, for validation, for something or someone to quiet the noise within. A hungry heart will call even poison food. And so, you begin to chase, not because it is right for you, but because it momentarily numbs what you do not wish to face. But tell me, what exactly are you trying to outrun? There is a quiet truth many avoid. The more you chase, the more you confirm to your own heart that something is missing. It becomes a silent agreement, you and your emptiness, both pretending not to see each other. Like pouring water into a cracked bowl, no matter how much you give, it never feels full. You may achieve, impress, even be desired. Yet when the moment passes, the same hollow space returns. Have you felt it? That subtle ache that whispers, "This still isn't enough." A monk once shared this gently. The problem is not your desire, it is the place from which your desire is born. When desire arises from fear, it binds you. When it arises from wholeness, it flows without struggle. So pause here and ask yourself honestly, is my desire coming from joy or from a quiet fear of being alone? The answer will make you reflect. But stay with me, because what comes next may change how you see everything. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine sitting alone, with nothing to fix, nothing to chase, just you and that emptiness you've been avoiding. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, like silence pressing against your thoughts. But don't move, don't escape, just observe. And slowly, something unexpected begins to happen. The emptiness softens, it loses its sharp edge. It becomes space, space that no longer demands to be filled, only to be understood. This is the turning point most never reach. Because here, you stop feeding the void and start witnessing it. And in that witnessing, a strange freedom appears. You are no longer desperate, you are no longer reaching, you are simply present. And tell me, what happens to chasing when there is nothing left inside you that feels incomplete? When you stop running, life stops running from you. When you stop begging for meaning, meaning begins to find you. This is the quiet power no one talks about. The moment you no longer need, you become someone worth choosing. So today, do something different. Sit with your silence. Let it speak. Build a mind that does not panic in its own presence, but stands steady, calm, and aware. Because the strongest, most disciplined mind is not the one that chases endlessly, but the one that can remain still, even when everything inside it asks to run. When you stop running after life, you realize it was waiting for you to stand still. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're not sure what to say, just type, "I trust my timing." 2. Desire is often disguised fear. Why does what you love sometimes feel like something you must have? Sit with that question quietly. Notice how quickly love turns into urgency, how something beautiful begins to feel like pressure. Attachment wears the mask of devotion, but carries the weight of fear. And in that weight, your heart forgets how to rest. It begins to chase, to control, to hold tighter than necessary. But ask yourself gently, is this still love, or has it become something else? There is a subtle shift that happens within you. What begins as appreciation slowly transforms into dependency. You no longer just enjoy the presence of something, you begin to fear its absence. And like holding sand too tightly, the more you grip, the faster it slips away. You feel it in relationships, in ambition, even in your search for peace. The tighter you hold, the more restless you become. Have you noticed how the mind whispers, "Don't lose this," even before anything is gone? A quiet truth reveals itself here. Desire is often not about what you want, but about what you fear losing. And fear is never still. It demands, it rushes, it exhausts you. So pause and look deeper. What fear hides beneath my strongest desires? Is it the fear of being alone, the fear of not being enough, or the fear that without this, you will feel empty again? Stay with that question. Do not rush past it, because your freedom begins where your honesty deepens. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Picture something you deeply want. Hold it gently in your awareness. Feel the tension it creates in your chest, the subtle pull to secure it, to keep it close. And now, imagine opening your hand. Let it rest there freely, without force, without control. Notice the shift. The breath softens, the mind becomes quieter, the need loosens its grip, and in that space, something surprising appears. Peace without possession. This is where your power returns. When you stop gripping, you stop fearing. When you stop fearing, you stop chasing. And suddenly, what once felt like something you needed becomes something you can simply experience. Tell me, if you didn't fear losing it, how would you feel right now? Lighter, calmer, more present. The path is simple, but not easy. Love without clinging, desire without fear. Stand steady within yourself, so nothing outside you becomes your foundation. Build a disciplined mind that observes, not reacts, that allows, not controls. Because the moment you release your desperate hold is the moment life no longer needs to escape you. What you loosen your grip on often stays. What you clutch in fear begins to fade. 3. Neediness repels. What you seek. Why do people and opportunities withdraw the moment you need them most? Notice this pattern without judgment. The more urgent your desire becomes, the more distant everything feels. What you beg for runs. What you embody stays. There is something in your energy, subtle but undeniable, that speaks before your words ever do. And when that energy carries need, it does not invite, it pressures. Ask yourself quietly, what am I really expressing in these moments? Neediness does not look like weakness on the surface. It often disguises itself as effort, as passion, as persistence. But beneath it, there is a quiet fear whispering, I am not enough without this. And that whisper shapes your presence. Like a magnet flipped the wrong way, your energy begins to push away exactly what you want to attract. Have you noticed how the harder you try to hold on, the more life seems to slip through your fingers? There is a deeper truth here that few are willing to face. You are not rejected because you are unworthy. You are avoided because your energy asks to be filled. And no person, no achievement, no external moment can carry that weight for long. So pause here and look inward. Where in my life am I asking instead of becoming? Sit with that question. Let it reveal what you have been unconsciously depending on. Now, in your mind, stand still. Imagine yourself as complete, lacking nothing. Not because you have everything, but because you are no longer defined by what is missing. Feel how your breath slows, your body softens. There is no rush, no grasping, no silent pleading, just a quiet, grounded presence. And in that stillness, something changes. You are no longer chasing the moment, you are meeting it. This is the shift that transforms everything. When you believe you are already enough, your actions no longer come from desperation, they come from clarity. And clarity does not chase, it chooses. It moves with calm certainty, untouched by fear. Tell me honestly, what would change in your life if you truly believed you were already enough? The discipline is simple, but it requires courage. Stop asking life to complete you. Start becoming someone who is already whole. Build a mind that does not seek approval, but stands steady in its own awareness. Because the moment you stop needing is the moment life stops resisting you. When you become full within yourself, what once avoided you begins to arrive without effort. 4. Pressure breaks natural flow. Could it be that your effort is the very thing blocking your path? Sit with that without rushing to answer. You have been taught that more force brings more results, that pushing harder will open doors. But look closely at your own life. How often has pressure created peace? The river flows not by force, but by surrender. So, why do you keep tightening your grip on what was never meant to be forced? There is a silent tension in the way you strive. It hides behind discipline, but feels like urgency. It wears the face of ambition, but carries the weight of fear. And slowly, this pressure begins to distort your natural rhythm. Like trying to force a flower to bloom, your effort becomes interference. The timing resists you. The outcome delays itself. Have you noticed how the more you push, the less aligned everything feels? Pause here and observe honestly. Where am I forcing outcomes instead of allowing them? Not every delay is failure. Not every still moment is wasted. Sometimes, life is not denying you. It is preparing the ground beneath you. But your impatience cannot see this. It only sees absence and calls it loss. What would it feel like to trust timing instead of controlling it? Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a river flowing through a vast landscape. It does not argue with the rocks in its path. It does not panic when the current slows. It simply moves around, through, and beyond. Effortless, yet unstoppable. Now, feel yourself becoming that flow. No resistance, no force. Just a quiet, steady movement forward. Notice how the tension leaves your body, how the mind begins to soften. This is not about doing less. It is about doing what is aligned, not what is desperate. Effort rooted in fear exhausts you. Effort rooted in clarity strengthens you. So ask yourself, is my effort aligned or desperate? Because one creates flow, the other creates friction. Here is the deeper shift. When you stop trying to control every outcome, you begin to cooperate with life instead of competing against it. And in that cooperation, things begin to move again. Not through struggle, but through natural unfolding. Opportunities no longer feel forced, they feel right. Build a mind that trusts the process, even when it cannot see the result. Discipline is not constant pushing. It is knowing when to act and when to allow. Because the moment you release unnecessary pressure is the moment life regains its flow. When you stop forcing the path, you realize the path was already carrying you. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're not sure what to say, just type, "I trust my timing." 5. Chasing is misplaced identity. What if you chase because you believe you are incomplete? Stay with that question. Beneath every pursuit, there is often a quiet assumption. Something is missing in me, and I must find it out there. You seek outside what you have not recognized within. And so, you move through life searching, proving, reaching, not realizing that the one you are trying to become is already present, waiting to be acknowledged. Chasing is not always about the world. It is about identity. It is the story you carry about who you are. When that story whispers, "Not enough," every action becomes an attempt to fix it. You seek validation, attention, achievement, hoping one moment will finally confirm your worth. But notice this gently. Does it ever last? Or does the mind quickly move to the next thing to chase? Like a king begging in the streets, unaware of the crown already on his head. You exhaust yourself trying to earn what was never missing. Pause here and turn inward with honesty. What part of me believes I am not enough? Do not rush this. Let the answer rise slowly. It may come from old comparisons, from past rejection, from silent expectations you placed upon yourself. And now ask, who would I be if I stopped seeking validation? Feel the weight of that question. Because your life begins to change the moment you no longer depend on others to define you. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself wearing an invisible crown, not of ego, not of pride, but of quiet completeness. You are not above anyone, but you are no longer beneath yourself. Now, walk slowly in your mind. Notice how your posture changes, your breath deepens. There is no need to impress, no urge to chase, just a calm, grounded presence that does not beg to be seen, yet cannot be ignored. This is the shift from lack to self-respect. When you act from lack, you shrink yourself to be accepted. When you act from self-respect, you stand fully without apology. Ask yourself now, am I acting from lack or from quiet self-respect? Because one will keep you chasing, the other will make life meet you where you stand. The discipline is not to become someone new. It is to remember who you are beneath the noise. Build a mind that does not measure its worth through outcomes, but through awareness and presence. Because the moment you stop searching for your value is the moment your value becomes undeniable. When you recognize your own completeness, you stop asking the world to complete you. 6. Attraction is silent alignment. What truly draws things toward you, if not effort? Sit with that question without rushing to answer. You have spent so much of your life believing that force creates results, that noise creates attention. But look deeper. The moments when life aligned for you, were they loud or were they quiet? Stillness attracts more than noise ever could. So what if the power you are searching for is not in doing more, but in becoming still enough to receive? There is an unseen law moving through your life. Not everything responds to effort. Some things respond to energy, subtle, silent, and deeply felt. When your mind is restless, your presence becomes scattered. When your heart is chasing, your energy becomes unstable. And instability does not attract, it repels. But when you are grounded, when you are calm, something shifts. Like the moon pulling the ocean without touching it, your presence begins to influence without force. Have you ever felt someone's calmness without them saying a word? That is silent alignment. Pause here and observe yourself honestly. Am I trying to impress or simply being? Because the need to impress comes from fear, while being comes from completeness. When you try to be seen, you disturb your own center. But when you are at peace, you do not need to announce yourself. Your energy speaks before you do. What energy do you radiate when you are truly at ease? Stay with that question. It reveals more than any external result ever could. Now, close your eyes. Imagine yourself as still water, undisturbed, clear, and steady. There is no urgency in you, no tension pulling you in different directions, just a quiet presence that reflects everything without clinging to anything. And slowly, notice how things begin to come toward you, not because you called them, but because there is space for them to arrive. Feel the difference. This is not attraction through effort. This is attraction through alignment. This is the turning point. When you stop chasing, you stop interfering. When you stop interfering, life begins to organize itself around your clarity. And what comes to you now comes without struggle, without confusion, without doubt. Build a mind that trusts stillness as strength. Discipline your thoughts to return to calm again and again, because the most powerful presence is not the one that demands attention, but the one that naturally draws it. When you become still within yourself, what is meant for you begins to move toward you in silence. 7. Letting go is not losing control. Why does releasing control feel so terrifying, yet so freeing? Sit with that tension. The part of you that holds on believes it is protecting you. It says, if I manage everything, nothing will go wrong. But look closely. Has control ever truly given you peace, or only temporary relief? Control is the illusion that suffocates possibility. And in trying to secure every outcome, you quietly restrict the very life you want to experience. There is a hidden exhaustion in control. It lives in overthinking, in constant planning, in the need to predict what cannot be predicted. You replay conversations, anticipate outcomes, and hold tightly to expectations. But life does not unfold through force. It unfolds through openness. Like holding your breath to stay alive, the tighter you cling, the less you can receive. Tell me honestly, how much of your energy is spent trying to prevent what hasn't even happened? Pause here and turn inward. What am I trying too hard to control right now? Is it a relationship, an outcome, an image of who you think you must be? And beneath that control, what fear is quietly waiting? Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of uncertainty. Stay with that fear without running from it. Because the moment you see it clearly, it begins to lose its hold on you. Now, take a slow breath in, hold it gently, feel the tension build, the subtle discomfort growing within your chest, and then release. Let the breath leave your body completely. Notice the relief that follows. The body softens, the mind quiets, and for a brief moment, there is nothing to manage, nothing to hold together, just ease. This is what surrender feels like, not loss, but release. Here is the deeper truth. Letting go is not giving up. It is making space for something wiser than your control. When you stop forcing life into your plan, life begins to reveal its own intelligence. And often, it moves in ways you could never have designed. So ask yourself gently, could surrender be my hidden strength? Because strength is not always in holding on. Sometimes it is in trusting enough to release. Build a disciplined mind that knows when to act and when to allow. When you loosen your need to control, life breathes through you, not against you. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're not sure what to say, just type, I trust my timing. 8. Act without emotional dependency. Can you pursue something deeply without needing it? Stay with that question, because it challenges everything you've been taught. You were told to care intensely, to want it badly, to attach your identity to the result. But look closely. Has that attachment brought you peace or tension? Action without attachment is freedom in motion. And freedom is not found in abandoning effort. It is found in releasing the emotional weight behind it. There is a quiet trap in the act. You begin with intention, but slowly the outcome becomes personal. Your worth starts to depend on success. Your peace begins to depend on results. And in that moment, your action is no longer clean. It is heavy, pressured, and fragile. Like an archer who releases the arrow but keeps running after it, you exhaust yourself, trying to control what has already left your hands. Tell me, how often do you lose your calm the moment results don't match your expectations? Pause here and look inward. Am I attached to the outcome of my efforts? Feel the truth of it, not the idea. Because attachment does not always shout. It hides in subtle disappointment, in restlessness, in the inability to let things unfold. And then ask yourself, can I give my best and still remain at peace? This is where most people hesitate because they believe peace comes after success. But what if peace is the very thing that creates clarity in your actions? Now, close your eyes. Imagine yourself taking action with full presence, full effort, full sincerity. You give everything that is yours to give. And then you step back, not in defeat, but in trust. The work is done. The result is no longer yours to carry. Feel that separation, the quiet space between what you do and what follows. Notice how your breath softens, how your mind becomes lighter. This is effort without burden. Here is the turning point. When you release the result, your action becomes sharper, cleaner, more focused. There is no fear of failure clouding your judgment, no desperation distorting your choices. You act because it is right, not because you are trying to prove something. And in that clarity, life begins to respond differently. So ask yourself gently, what changes when I release the result? Because the answer is simple, yet powerful. You stop chasing outcomes and start mastering your presence. When your effort is pure and your heart is unattached, even uncertainty becomes a place of peace. 9. The universe responds to your state. What if life isn't giving you what you want, but reflecting who you are? Sit with that, without defending yourself. Because this question does not accuse, it reveals. You look at your life and ask, why isn't this working? But a quieter voice asks, from what state am I living? Your inner world writes the script of your outer reality. And whether you notice it or not, life responds, not to your words, but to your state. There is something deeply honest about existence. It does not react to your wishes. It reflects your condition. Like a mirror that never lies, life shows you not what you hope for, but what you consistently embody. If there is restlessness within, you will experience unstable outcomes. If there is fear within, you will interpret everything through doubt. Have you noticed how the same situation feels different depending on your inner state? The world did not change, you did. Pause here and ask yourself gently, what is my current inner state attracting into my life? Do not answer quickly, feel it. Is there tension behind your actions? Is there quiet anxiety shaping your decisions? Or is there a grounded calm guiding your steps? Because this state is not hidden. It leaks into your words, your timing, your presence. And slowly, life organizes itself around it. Now close your eyes. Picture your life as a mirror standing before you. It reflects your posture, your energy, your being. Now, change your inner posture. Soften your breath. Release the tightness in your chest. Let your mind settle into awareness rather than reaction. Watch carefully. The reflection begins to shift. Not instantly, not magically, but subtly, steadily. Because when your state changes, your perception changes, and your actions follow. Here is the deeper turning point. You do not need to chase a different life. You need to become a different presence within the same life. When you move from fear, you create resistance. When you move from calm awareness, you create alignment. And alignment does not struggle, it unfolds. So ask yourself honestly, am I living from fear or from calm awareness? And more importantly, what version of me is my reality reflecting right now? Because the answer to that question is the key to everything you are experiencing. Build a disciplined mind that returns to stillness again and again. Refine your inner state before you try to fix your outer world. Because the moment you change within, life has no choice but to respond. When your inner world becomes clear, your outer world begins to follow without resistance. 10. Absence reveals true value. Why do things often return only after you stop chasing them? Sit with this without rushing to explain it away. You have felt it before, the moment you finally let go. And suddenly, what you wanted begins to move toward you. What is meant for you finds you in your absence. Not because life is playing games with you, but because your absence creates something you have been denying. Space. When you chase, you fill every space with effort, worry, and expectations. There is no room for life to respond, only pressure for it to perform. And under pressure, even the right things pull back. Like an echo that returns only after you stop shouting, life responds when the noise inside you becomes quiet. Have you noticed how your constant reaching leaves no silence for anything to arrive? Pause here and ask yourself honestly, what have I been holding on to too tightly? Is it a person, a result, an identity you are scared to lose? Feel the grip you have on it, not in your hands, but in your mind, in the thoughts that keep returning again and again. And then ask, what might come back if I simply step away? This is not about giving up. It is about moving out of the way of your own interference. Now close your eyes. Imagine yourself slowly stepping away from what you want. Not with bitterness, not with defeat, but with quiet trust. You create space, clean, open, undisturbed. Feel how your breathing deepens, how your body relaxes. There is no urgency pulling at you, no invisible thread connecting your peace to an outcome. And in that space, something starts to change, not outside first, but within. A calm certainty replaces restless need. This is the paradox most people never understand. Your absence is not loss, it is clarity. When you stop holding on, you allow truth to show itself. What is real will move toward you without force. What is not will fade away without struggle. And both outcomes help you. Tell me, do you trust that? Or do you still believe you must chase to keep what belongs to you? The discipline is quiet, but strong. Step back when your mind wants to rush ahead. Release when your heart wants to hold tightly. Build a presence that does not break in absence, but becomes stronger within it. Because the moment you create space, life starts responding in ways control never could. When you stop reaching for what you want, you discover what truly belongs to you. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're not sure what to say, just type, "I trust my timing." 11. Detachment is inner freedom. What remains when you no longer need anything? Do not answer too quickly. Let the questions settle inside you. Because the mind has been trained to believe that without desire, life becomes empty. But look deeper. Is it emptiness? Or is it space? Freedom begins where craving ends. And maybe what you fear losing is not meaning, but the familiar weight you have carried for so long. There is a quiet chain around every attachment. It does not always hurt, but it always limits you. You say, "I need this to feel complete." And in that moment, your peace is no longer yours. It becomes outsourced, fragile, dependent, like a bird gently tied to the ground. You may still move, but you cannot truly fly. Have you noticed how even good things begin to feel heavy when your happiness depends on them? Pause here and look within honestly. What attachments are quietly controlling my peace? Not the obvious ones, but the subtle ties, the need for approval, the need for certainty, the need to hold on to what feels safe. And now ask yourself, who am I without needing anything to complete me? Stay with that question, because it does not take anything away from you. It reveals what has always been there beneath the attachments. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine thin, invisible strings connected from your heart to everything you cling to. One by one, gently release them. Not with force, not with rejection, but with understanding. Feel the lightness that follows. Your breath expands, your chest softens. There is nothing pulling you outward, nothing demanding your energy. Just a quiet presence, steady and free. This is not loss. This is space returning to you. Here is the deeper truth. Detachment is not coldness. It is not indifference. It is the ability to experience fully without becoming attached. You can still love, still act, still care deeply, but your peace is no longer at risk. Tell me honestly, is freedom worth more than possession? This is where inner strength is born, not from controlling life, but from no longer being controlled by it. When you are free within, nothing outside can shake you in the same way. You become steady, grounded, untouched by the constant rise and fall of outcomes. Build a disciplined mind that values freedom over temporary comfort. Return to yourself again and again until your peace no longer depends on anything outside of you. When you are no longer controlled by what you desire, you finally become free to live. Bonus: life chooses the unattached. Why does everything seem to arrive when you no longer ask for it? Stay with that mystery. You've experienced it in quiet moments, when you stopped trying so hard, when your mind softened, when your heart no longer insisted, and suddenly life responded. When you become whole, life no longer withholds. Not because life changed, but because you changed. And in that change, something unseen began to open. There is a difference between reaching and receiving. Reaching carries tension. It says, "I need this now." Receiving is quiet. It says, "I am ready." And life, in its subtle wisdom, flows where there is readiness, not pressure. Like rain falling on open earth, not on closed fists. What is meant for you arrives where there is space. Have you noticed how your expectations sometimes block what could have arrived naturally? Pause here and look within. Am I open to receive or closed by expectation? Because expectation often hides itself as hope, but underneath it, there is control. You decide how things should come, when they should come, who they should come through. And when life moves differently, you resist it, not realizing that your resistance is the only barrier. What would happen if you loosened that control even a little? Now, close your eyes. Imagine yourself open, not passive, but deeply relaxed within. Your hands are no longer tightly holding outcomes. Your breath moves freely. There is no urgency in your presence, no silent demand placed on the future, and slowly feel life moving toward you. Not in a rush, not in chaos, but in a calm, steady way that feels right. This is what it means to receive without grasping. Here is the quiet turning point. When you stop chasing, you stop interfering. When you stop interfering, you allow alignment to happen. And alignment does not force. It organizes, it connects, it unfolds with precision you could never control. Tell me, can you trust life enough to let it choose for you? This is not about doing nothing. It is about doing what is yours to do and releasing what is not. Building a mind that is disciplined in action, yet detached from the outcome. A presence that is open, grounded, and steady no matter what comes or goes. So ask yourself honestly, can I allow things to come instead of chasing them? Because the moment you do, life begins to meet you differently. Not as something you must fight for, but as something that flows toward you. When you open your hands to life, life finally has a place to arrive. Quick summary of principles. Stop feeding the inner emptiness. You are not chasing people, you are escaping an inner void. The more you try to fill it externally, the stronger it becomes internally. Unseen emotional hunger hides itself as ambition and desire. True peace begins when you face what you have been avoiding within. Desire is often disguised. Fear, what you call love or ambition, often carries fear of loss or rejection. Attachment is not connection, it is dependence with expectations. Fear quietly controls your desires and distorts your perception. Freedom begins when you separate love from fear-based attachment. Neediness repels what you seek. The moment you become needy, you communicate lack and instability. People and opportunities respond to emotional energy, not words. Neediness creates pressure, and pressure pushes things away. Wholeness attracts naturally, without force, without desperation. Pressure breaks. Natural flow. Forcing outcomes disturbs the natural rhythm of life. Control creates resistance, and resistance blocks progress. Not everything is meant to be achieved through intensity. Trusting timing allows life to unfold without unnecessary struggle. Chasing is misplaced identity. You chase because you believe something is missing within you. This belief creates a cycle of seeking outside validation. Your identity becomes dependent on outcomes and approval. Real power begins when you realize you are already complete. Attraction is silent. Alignment. True attraction is not loud, forceful, or desperate. It comes from inner stability and emotional clarity. When you are aligned within, life responds without resistance. Stillness holds more power than constant effort. Letting go is not losing control. Control is often driven by fear of uncertainty. Holding too tightly creates stress and limits possibilities. Letting go creates space for better outcomes to appear. Surrender is not weakness. It is intelligent trust in life. Act without emotional dependence. You can take action without attaching your identity to the results. Effort should come from purpose, not emotional need. Detachment allows you to stay calm, regardless of outcomes. This balance creates both effectiveness and inner peace. The universe responds to your state. Your outer reality reflects your inner condition. Fear attracts instability, while calmness attracts clarity. You are not attracting what you want, you are reflecting what you are. Change your inner state and your outer world follows. Absence reveals true value. Stepping back creates space for clarity and recognition. What is truly meant for you does not disappear with distance. Your absence removes pressure and allows a natural return. Detachment reveals what is real and what is temporary. Detachment is inner freedom. Attachment ties your peace to outside conditions. Detachment frees you from constant emotional dependence. You begin to act from choice, not from need. Freedom is found when nothing controls your inner state. Bonus: life chooses the unattached. Life flows toward those who are open, not those who are desperate. When you stop chasing, you stop resisting what is meant for you. Inner completeness removes the need to prove or pursue. What aligns with you arrives naturally, without force. There is a deep shift that happens when you finally understand this truth, that life is not withholding anything from you. You have simply been holding on too tightly. The more you chase, the more distance you create. The more you try to control, the more life slips beyond your reach. But when you become still, when you release the need to force outcomes, something quiet yet powerful starts to unfold. You stop running after life, and life begins moving toward you. In the wisdom of Gautama Buddha, you only lose what you cling to. This is the heart of Zen philosophy. Not to escape life, but to flow with it without resistance, to act without attachment, to desire without dependence, and to live without fear of loss. Because in that state, you are no longer chasing anything. You are simply allowing what is meant for you to arrive. So, take a moment today, pause, breathe, and reflect. What if everything I am chasing is waiting for me to finally let go? Remind viewers to like and share this video, share your thoughts in the comment box, and subscribe to Buddha's Eternal Wisdom for more inspiring Buddhist insights on living a peaceful life.